It's Gabrielle Faust again. So I decided to do one more video tonight and entertain myself for a while. So earlier today someone was telling me that they had made their New Year's resolutions, and they asked me if I had made mine. Well, honestly, I have to tell you, I haven't. I've started toying with some ideas. I don't really like to make resolutions. I like to make goals. Resolutions seem a little too definitive. They seem a little too restrictive. I don't like the idea of a resolution, but a goal is something that I can really stick to. It's something that I can, mark off my calendar or check off my list. And so I've been trying to narrow it down to like my top 4. And my top 4 are going to be, I think, the following. I want to finish at least 80%. I know this is aiming high considering it's probably going to be at least a 300-page book. At least 80% of the 3rd book of the Eternal Vigilance series. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to finish at least 5 short stories and hopefully get maybe 2 or 3 published. Considering how busy I am and how I'm going to be on the road most of the year with my book tour, that's pretty good. I'm going to aim, that's pretty good. You know what? Those are the only 2 goals that I have so far. I'm still kind of narrowing it down. I don't like to do more than 4 or 5 goals. And there's so many competing for the last 3. I'm really not sure yet. I know that I want to get the graphic novel for Eternal Vigilance started. I'm looking for illustrators right now. I was actually on DeviantArt earlier today, trolling around, looking at different artists, trying to figure out whose style would really work, but unfortunately I've had some bad experiences with illustrators lately, not being able to meet deadlines that I've had to cut loose, which really breaks my heart because their styles would have been absolutely perfect, but if you can't meet a deadline, well, train moves on. So I'm back to square one, really, looking for an illustrator for the Eternal Vigilance graphic novel. But if all else fails, I can illustrate it myself, really. But I don't really have the time. That's the thing. When you've got 12 to 15 different projects on your plate at one point in time, adding another huge project like that probably isn't going to work. But, I can always do it myself. So let's add that to the list. Okay, so we've got finished 80% of Eternal Vigilance number 3, the book, which is going to be a massive undertaking in and of itself, considering there's a lot of research that I need to do beforehand, and I just finished book 2 in September, so. But let's see, and then we have the short stories. Lots of short stories this year. Got to write those. Got to get them published. Okay, so we're adding a graphic novel to the list. Okay, Eternal Vigilance, the graphic novel. We're going to add that to the list as well. Number 4. Learn how to write a screenplay. Again, you got to do it yourself, right? If you want something, you got to go do it yourself. So, I've decided that I'm going to write the screenplay for Eternal Vigilance. That sounds like a good idea. I have talked with a lot of indie film directors who have expressed interest in it, but I haven't had anybody say, yes, we want to make this into a movie. So, I want to make it into a movie. I think it would be fabulous. I know that all of my readers would think that it would be fabulous. I'm going to write the screenplay. Okay, number 4 is set. I'm going to learn how to write a screenplay. I'm going to do it. And when I set myself to, set my mind to something, I generally do it. So, okay, so I have my top 4. Number 5, I'm going to leave open for the next week or so. Supposedly, according to my horoscope, and yes, I am a person who reads horoscopes, January is supposed to be pretty incredible. A lot of crazy stuff is supposed to happen this month. A lot of really great news, a lot of projects coming in, a lot of people I'm supposed to be working with. So, if that's the case, I think I'm going to leave number 5 open and see what develops over the next few weeks. And maybe, who knows, something else could come up. Who knows? So, okay. So I said I wasn't going to set my New Year's goals, but I did. And all live here on BlogTV. So it's all recorded. Yay. Well, isn't that exciting? So I guess I can use this to go back and refer to later on. And it's all public record, so you can hold me to it later on if I don't meet up to those. If it's like November or December and I still haven't done 2 or 3 of those, well, I guess it's public record and you can come back and harass me about it. So, there you go.